Biggie, my favorite rapper. Biggie, my top, no matter what. Biggie, my number one, then Jay-Z, right? I don't think Nas can rap better than Jay-Z, period. I just don't think he better than him. So when it came to this, I think it was more like,
I'm energized, women lie, on God, numbers don't. Started talking power moves, that's right, when she got close. It's Young, the one who do it. Numbers don't lie, that's the movement. Now let's get to it. We got Oschino back on the Quiet Part Out Loud podcast, and he's talking about Jay-Z again. What a surprise. So he's revealing Jay-Z's plan to have state property diss Nas. And he's saying that Nas Ether is overrated. I don't think I ever heard that before.
You had said that during the Nas beef that he ain't even call Memphis Bleak. He called like Jay-Z. He wanted this straight property to join the beef and act like Nas killed your cousin. That was just, it made me kind of, what was that about?
mind you, he came in the room, he said, listen, y'all, mind you, think about this. At the time, I never heard of Hot 97. So I'm thinking,
Never heard of Hot 97? Oschino, come on, man. There's no way. Hot 97 was one of the biggest radio stations in New York City and the country.
it's like, I know it was a radio station, but we had dead radio stations before. I never knew it was so big of a radio station. I never knew that when we went up to the radio station, it's going to like change our life and stuff like that. But he said, yo, when we go up there tomorrow, I want you to act like Nas killed your cousin.
Yo, all my people in Philly, y'all gotta let me know. Was y'all like in the dark about Hot 97? Was it really like that back then? I never knew that.
I'm like, who? Not, so that night I studied Nas, learned about Nas. I'm like, Nas, like what? But mind you, I have no bad. I don't even know. At the time, I didn't know Nas at all. I mean, I didn't know him. I heard of him, but I didn't know his music and that because I was with this place called Vision Quest when Nas came out, and there's no TV and no radio there. So I didn't mean school. So when I went up there, Onyx was out. Throw your guns in the air. I mean, when I got out, Biggie was out. So I didn't really get a chance to really like, know about Nas like that. So when he said this Nas, I had to do some homework on it. I mean, but Jay-Z is the reason why we did Nas. We didn't. None of us had a problem with Nas. None of us. Nobody. So he did that, and then he got cool with Nas, and ain't get us cool with Nas. You know what I'm saying?
He said you said that he threw y'all in the
For
trash.
sure, he
What
threw
does
us in the
that mean?
trash.
Like, how does that go?
Because my thing is, that, bro, like, it's like if you tell your young boys to shoot my house up, right? And I see it was Derrick and James that shot my house up, right? But you come to me like, oh, let's squash the beef. All right, man, you can squash the beef and all that. But you ain't telling me to squash it with Derrick and James who actually shot my house up. I'm gonna kill Derrick and James. Even though, man, you cool, I'm gonna kill them because they shot my house up, unless you fix it with them too. You know what I'm saying? So when you've been a big homie, say to do something, then get cool with the boy that did it, you're supposed to make sure everybody cool with it. Because who knows, if you don't mess with us, maybe I can get a deal with Nas. Maybe Chris can get a deal with Nas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think Jay-Z wanted anybody to get a deal with nobody. He just did that because it was a power move at that time. And it's like, all right, I could squash this situation because Nas survived. I think if Nas didn't survive, if he didn't make it out of that beef, I don't think Jay-Z would have been cool with him again. If he wasn't able to make no more money, if he like really messed up a lot of his situations and blackballed him.
If he had a record label, but you stopped the relationship with somebody that was a powerful person that shielded you from what he was doing to you. And act like you don't remember. You know what I'm saying? If anything, we supposed to be on that rock brunch shit, they supposed to have state property face on it. Even if we're not there. Supposed to be state property face is supposed to be on there. Because without us, Nas, that ether shit was killing his soul.
Not gonna cap, man. That ether shit was crazy. That was crazy. That was a moment too. You know what I mean? A lot of Jay-Z fans, me included, I had to really like take that shot. Like, damn, did Nas really just kill Jay? I had to think about it. Like, I'm listening to it. It's making me think every time I hear it. I don't want to hear it. And then everyone that was a fan of Nas, they just going so crazy with that situation when it came out. You can't not hear Ether. You was hearing that everywhere.
Yeah, that ether shit was killing Jay-Z's soul. That's why he came and got state property. I mean, and the mind you, here's the thing. People say, oh, this Jay-Z, you hate on Jay-Z. He fucking asked us to come on there. We ain't asked him. Listen, he came in the room and asked us to do this. Please do this, y'all, because he's on my ass. You know what I mean? So we had that rock brunch nigga with your pink suits and your champagne, your dreadler, your Basquiat shit dreadler. Remember who the fuck you came to before all that shit was going on? We had a low cut, you came to us. Not Memphis Bleak. You came to Colorado owing us, nigga.
I ain't gonna lie, this don't sound to me like he's hating. It just sounds like he's speaking on a situation that happened that most people feel like they can't speak on. It's over. It happened, what, 30 years, about 30 years ago now at this point? Who cares? A lot of people be mad about what Obi's saying, but I think he's keeping it a buck. And I want to hear it. We all want to hear it. If you was a fan of this, like this time period and era of music, and Roc-A-Fella and Nas and Jay-Z, yeah, I want to hear it. I want to hear the stories really from somebody that was there. Who else is qualified?
What was the? Because I know when Ether dropped, that was like an atomic bomb in hip hop. What was the vibe among State Property, Rockefeller?
Well, for me, I ain't gonna even lie to you. For me, I like the Jay-Z this better. But everybody like, no, Ether better. I didn't like the Rock's line, which somebody he got a big lips and no mustache. I didn't like it. I think people more liked it because he was somebody finally stepping up to Jay-Z. Like I don't
Nah, that's not why. It's because Nas killed, he smoked Jay-Z on that joint, man. We got to keep it a buck from beginning to end. The beat, the way he flowed on it, he had Tupac in the beginning. It was epic. He said a lot of people's names, and he said a lot of things we was thinking already. Maybe Oschino wasn't connected, and he never really heard people saying these things. But a lot of people were saying Eminem killed him on his joint. They were saying that Beanie Siegel sometimes could rap better than Jay. He's out rapping Jay. They was talking about the Foxy situation. He spoke about him doing Tybo. He rebutted some of the lines that Jay-Z said on Takeover. He said a lot of stuff. I'm just sitting and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, Takeover, now you loading up your weapons to explode on the Campbell and your soldiers we can handle. Man, the blueprint, how KRS already had that. He said a lot of stuff on that joint, man. When I really sit back and think about it, he killed Jay-Z. And he actually delivered that song on Jay-Z's birthday at the 4040 Club.
Jay-Z my second favorite rapper of all time. I think his no, see, I can separate the music from the person, right? Biggie my favorite rapper. Biggie my top, no matter what. Biggie my number one, then Jay-Z, right? I don't think Nas can rap better than Jay-Z, period. I just don't think he better. So when it came to this, I think it was more like
Nah, you wildin'. I think Oschino might be looking at it as everything, all the things that you need to be a rapper. But when it comes down to lyrical ability, and we're not talking about style, we're not talking about impact, we're not talking about who's more influential, we're not talking about the type of beats. If we just talking about pure lyricism and rapper ability, Nas gotta take the cake, man. We gotta get that to Nas, man. He's an expert. He's like surgical with this shit. Jay-Z's dope too. But the message. That's all I'm gonna say. The message. It's about the message as well.
people like Nas more than like Jay-Z, I think. I think they just like Nas' persona. You know what I'm saying? Girls like Nas. They think they think he handsome. You know what I'm saying? And Nas a cool dude. He move cool. Everything he do is cool. Nas a cool ass nigga. Like, I mean, as I've been watching him as I got to get older, he just carry himself in a cool manner. Like he like a GQ smooth boy without trying. You know what I'm saying? So I think when he come at, so Nas, I mean, Jay-Z saying something about Nas, people didn't like it. Like, why you say something about Nas? Like,
You know what's crazy? I think Oschino just doesn't know his history when it comes to Nas and Jay-Z. There was a long point in time where Nas was actually cold and he wasn't dropping no music. Nobody was talking about him. And that was actually around the time that the beef started with Jay-Z and Nas. So I wouldn't say more people like Nas at that time. People was really in love with Jay-Z. Jay-Z had the city on Smash. Now, was there older hip hop fans that loved Nas and was connected to him? Absolutely. But he wasn't dropping nothing and he wasn't hot and he wasn't hitting nothing on the records and all of that. Like when he was dropping, he wasn't really, it just wasn't received crazy until that beef. When that beef hit and Ether, that bomb, Ether was in bomb. We got to be honest about this situation. I don't know why this is confusing to where some people have a different, he lost. Jay-Z got smoked.
he one of them guys, right? So I think it wasn't about the rap, was Ether was better or not. It was like somebody, he had the audacity to come at Jay-Z like that, and people like, oh, I mean, but I mean, I
No, nah, this take, Oh, I usually agree with you, but this not the one. This take is wrong.
think a whole, to me, lyric wise, the song wise, I know everybody gonna disagree, but for me, I like the Jay-Z diss better.
Hell no. The Jay-Z diss was cool, but it reminded me of that Push-Ups joint by Drake. Because he was actually coming at several people. He was coming at Mobb Deep on that situation. He wasn't like directly hitting at Nas the whole time. He gave Nas a couple bars, like he said. I gave Nas a couple bars. And then he really was focused most of the time, I believe, on Mobb Deep. And then he broke Nas down in the second verse. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for him to win. If he made a song first that was just directed towards Nas, we could be able to compare it better, but that's what we'll never get. We'll never know what that would have sounded like. And then that super ugly joint that he did after that, after the Ether drop, terrible.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, a lot of people have had that sentiment. I think Ebro Joe said the same thing. Like, yo, I think Takeover was better, but there was no type of effect on Roc-A-Fella. Nobody's heads was down.
No.
Like, damn, Nas. All right.
You know why? Because you understand, especially back then. I mean, we was used to the hip hop, the beef and the rap battles. It was like just a rap battle. When you come from Philadelphia, see, Philadelphia more like a murder town. So for me, like rap was like, I'm so happy to be involved and hear it.
I think that right there says it all. Like he said, Philadelphia is more a murder town. It's more rough. We know Oschino was in the streets, so we know. And I don't believe that they didn't listen to lyrics. They didn't listen to those type of artists because they had the roots. You know, they got a lyricist in the city. There is people that appreciate Nas in Philly, but I don't think Oschino and probably the people he's hanging out with would understand Nas. They wouldn't understand the things that he's talking about. I think it's kind of a little bit above him. And that's okay. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but it's just different styles. It's different styles. Some people are not into that type of rap. It's just like there's some Drake fans that are not into Kendrick. There's some Kendrick fans that are not into Drake. They're like, Drake is just one-dimensional, top layer. That's not, and he don't write his rhymes. So, you know what I mean? But I don't think there's no denying in history that Nas Ether was way better than Takeover. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Y'all let me know, was Ether better than Takeover? Or did we get it wrong in history? Were we missing something? Y'all let me know. Y'all know what to do. Like, subscribe, and hit that hype button. We out of here.
So y'all that are new to the page, my name is Youngness. I'm an artist. I'm a songwriter. I'm a content creator. I'm also a real person, just like you. I go through real issues. So I just wanted to give y'all some positivity and let y'all see my real personality for a second.
If nobody's told you before, I need you to know life is about belief. And belief starts with the creator. It starts with God. So, in order to see something in reality, to see something happen fast in your life, it depends on how much you believe in it and how strong that belief is. Now, I need y'all to say this, man. Repeat this with me and feel it in your heart. I'm surrounded by endless opportunities with overflowing resources and divine favor. And with the God-given wisdom, discernment, and discipline, I don't just maintain them, I multiply them. Continue to say that. Continue to believe it in your heart, in your mind, in your spirit. And watch your life transform.
Men lie.
Women lie.
Numbers don't lie.
Make sure y'all go get y'all NDL hoodie, man. Get all y'all NDL apparel. I'm gonna drop the link. Y'all see the joint right here. We got the good maroon joint. You see the established 2014 for y'all that know. Numbers don't lie.